Listen along to the Odyssey by Homer, Part 1, Book 2. Telemachus confronts the suitors. Frustrated in his attempts to control the suitors, who are older and more powerful than he is, Telemachus decides to follow Athena's advice. He tries in public to become his father's son. When primal dawn spread on the eastern sky, her fingers of pink light, Odysseus's true son stood up, drew on his tunic and his mantle, slung on a sword belt and a new-edged sword, tied his smooth feet into good rawhide sandals, and left his room a god's brilliance upon him. He found the criers with clarion voices and told them to muster the unshorn Achaeans in full assembly. The call sang out, and the men came streaming in. And when they filled the assembly ground, he entered, spear in hand, with two quick hounds at heel. Athena lavished on him a sunlit grace that held the eye of the multitude. Old men made way for him as he took his father's chair. Telemachus complains of the way his family is treated by the suitors. He especially resents the way they treated his mother. The suitors answer through Antinous, the most arrogant suitor of them all. He demands that Penelope choose one of them in marriage, and he blames her for her trickery. For 3 years now, and it will soon be four, she has been breaking the hearts of the Achaeans, holding out hope to all and sending promises to each man privately, but thinking otherwise. Here's an instance of her trickery. She had her great loom standing in the hall and the fine warp of some vast fabric on it. We were attending her, and she said to us, "Young men, my suitors, now my lord is dead. Let me finish my weaving before I marry, or else my thread will have been spun in vain. It is a shroud I weave for Lord Laertes, when cold death comes to lay him on his bier. The country wives would hold me in dishonor if he, with all his fortune, lay unshrouded. We have men's hearts. She touched them, we agreed. So every day she wove on the great loom, but every night, by torchlight, she unwove it. And so for 3 years she deceived the Achaeans. But when the seasons brought the fourth around, one of her maids, who knew the secret, told us. We found her unraveling the splendid shroud. She had to finish then, although she hated it. Now, here is the suitor's answer. You and all the Achaeans, mark it well. Dismiss your mother from the house, or make her marry the man her father names and she prefers. Does she intend to keep us dangling forever?" In the face of this stalemate, Telemachus decides to sail away in search of his father. The assembly broke up. Everyone went home. The suitors home to Odysseus's house again. But Telemachus walked down along the shore and washed his hands in the foam of the gray sea, then said this prayer: "O God of yesterday, guest in our house, who told me to take ship on the hazy sea for news of my lost father, listen to me. Be near me. The Achaeans only wait or hope to hinder me, the damned insolent suitors most of all." Athena was nearby and came to him, putting on Mentor's figure and his tone, the warm voice in a lucid flight of words. "You'll never be faint-hearted or a fool, Telemachus, if you have your father's spirit. He finished what he cared to say, and what he took in hand he brought to pass. The sea roots will yield their distances to his true son, Penelope's true son. I doubt another's luck would hold so far. The son is rare who measures with his father, and 1 in 1,000 is a better man. But you will have the sap and wit and prudence, for you get that from Odysseus, to give you a fair chance of winning through. So never mind the suitors and their ways. There's no judgment in them. Neither do they know anything of death and the black terror close upon them. Doomsday on them all." Quietly, Telemachus goes home and again bears the mockery of the suitors. With the help of his old nurse Euryclea, he prepares for the journey in search of his father. Athena, still disguised as Mentor, borrows a ship and rounds up a crew, and off they sail in the night. Telemachus's only concern is a human one. He worries about his mother and begs the nurse not to tell her he is gone until some days have passed.